not done this lesson. So the reflex arc can look really rather complex. It looks like this diagram here. Now, this is the reflex arc. And there's some key words you need to know. The stimulus is some environmental thing that we're responding to. In this case, it's a pin. So a reflex arc always starts with stimulus. So in this card sort game, I'm going to take the word stimulus and just pop it there. So we start with a stimulus. Now, when we look at this, you want to sense the fact that you've stood on a pin. And there is a neuron, a nerve cell that goes up your leg. This is called the sensory neuron because it's sensing that pin. All right, there we go. So you've got stimulus, then you've got, oopsie daisy, that shouldn't be on there. Then you've got a sensory neuron. The sensory neuron goes all the way up your leg into your spine. Your spine is the central nervous system. There are two parts to your central nervous system, your brain and your spine. So it goes into your spinal cord and into this relay neuron. So that'll be my next step. Relay neuron. It's right there at the top. Relay neuron. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to take an image. And I'm just going to drop it underneath there. Relay neuron. After my relay neuron, the signal goes down here. And this is, you can be called a number of different things. It can be called a motor neuron because it causes your muscle to move. It has an effect on your muscle. I really don't like motor neuron, but I'm going to use motor neuron. The word I like is an effector neuron. It causes an effect. It doesn't have to be a motor neuron. It can be, if I just put that there, what it can be apart from a motor neuron, actually I'm just going to move that across. The other thing that can be is a gland, like your adrenal gland. So it can affect your muscles, a motor neuron, or an adrenal gland, or a gland, a hormonal gland. So I like to call this an effector neuron because it has an effect. And when you use the term effector neuron, you are covering both bases. So if in the exam we talk about, oh, look, how would someone's hormones react when a line jumps in front of them? That is your adrenaline. That isn't a motor neuron because it's not on a muscle. But if you use the term effector neuron, you can talk about a muscle and a gland. So it makes no difference. So I like effector neuron. Now it goes down the effector neuron to whatever, in this case, a muscle, right? Now, I could, again, break down here and say, I'm going to put muscle down here, right? Oopsie daisy, let me press T. I could turn around and say, right, I'm going to write muscle. The problem with this is it doesn't talk about glands, all right? So I've got a motor neuron. So you become so used to talking about one thing. So rather than talking about that, if I'm talking about an effector neuron, the thing that has an effect, is an effector, okay? But this will be a response. So I can turn around and say, actually, that causes a response. So this response can be either your muscle or it can be your one of your glands. Definitely GCSE will talk about your adrenal glands. Okay, and you'll get a response. So I kind of like the words effector neuron and response because it covers both muscular and glandular reactions. All right, so I'm going to stop that. Now,